Spiral Studio came out swinging with their first two Monsterverse statues, the first depicting Godzilla's arch-nemesis, the three-headed King Ghidorah, in a magnificent Titan Awakening Alpha Kaiju pose, and the second, a jaw-dropping burning Godzilla that glows with an intense smoldering energy that literally burns the competition and becomes the fiery core of any kaiju collection. The deluxe edition even came with an optional Mothra pulse energy wings that made the piece even more majestic. But then, Spiral's Titans of the Monsterverse line introduced the Mothra larva, the Queen Mudo, Titanus Behemoth, and the Legacy Series GMK Godzilla. And finally, the newest edition of the Titans of the Monsterverse line, Godzilla himself.
Okay, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a little review today of the Spiral Studios Titans of the Monsterverse Godzilla 2019. And here he is right here, in all of his glory. That's it. Yeah. Alright, so this figure came in a box about this big. Pretty nice sized box. He was fit in there really well in terms of spatial relations. Spiral Studios usually has a foam interior foam case. This was styrofoam, so that was unexpected for me. It obviously came perfect. He was not damaged in any way, so awesome. But no foam with this version. The box art. One side showed the atomic charged version, and the other side showed the standard version. So I know that on the box, the outside of the shipper, it was checked that it would be a standard Godzilla 2019. And when I opened the shipper, I was like, "Oh no, they put the wrong piece in," because it was the atomic charged artwork was showing to me. So I thought, "Oh man, they sent me the wrong one." And then when I opened it up, I was like, nope, he indeed is the standard blueless, non-atomic charged standard Godzilla. So a little bit of I can see collectors going into panic mode if they feel like they were sent the wrong one. But rest assured, at least mine turned out to be the one that I needed to get in the mail. Okay, so his tail. This is one of my favorite features of Spiral here lately. They've taken the X Plus version of heating the end of the tail and shoving it in the unheated tail slot. They swapped that out for a magnetic piece. So it just comes right off. It's very shallow. There's not much area for the flange to go in. But they've rectified that by having a perfect magnetized bond. Boom, and it goes on. It's snug and it's compartmentalized. I love it. Another thing that strikes me about this piece that's awesome is the fact that there's no tail stand here. No tail stand, which means you can just take him and you don't have to worry about the tail drooping or coming apart in the segments. It's on there very well, and then you put it down as a first. This is the first time I've ever seen this as a decal. It's some sort of sticker, and for some reason it's a little tacky. Like I can feel that it sticks. When I first took it out of the box and was looking at it, I thought that he had maybe somebody had put him in some adhesive puddle, and it was just happened to be in the same area as the words. But now I can see that it's actually a part of the whole label. Seems to be a sticker. And as you can see, it's my fingerprint is staying in it, and some of the fuzzies from this tabletop have come off on it. So that's strange to me. I've not seen that yet in a figure. I wonder the logistics behind that. So, and as a contrast, let's see if we can get a good shot at the bottom of the Mothra larva. Now, I know Mothra larva did not have a sticker or a stencil for that matter. It was actually imprinted, like stamped physically into the mold. So it's stamped in. Looks like it's physically carved into the vinyl, whether that was a part of the mold or if they stamped it into the vinyl while it was still soft. I have no idea how they went about that. So that was a second way they do it. And then on GMK appears to be a white stenciled on there. I'm not sure if the camera is picking up that that's a sticker as well, but it's definitely not the same situation. It's not as glossy. There's no adhesive to it, and you can see obviously the foot is completely sculpted on the bottom. So just a little comparing and contrasting to Spiral's own figure series. Okay, now we're going to get into the sculpt and the paint. The interior of his mouth is glossy, sort of a wet look. They went the extra mile to make the tongue and the interior of the mouth look wet, more so than the outside of the body, which is also cool. The sharpness of the teeth is pretty good for vinyl. There's a few teeth that look like they're one piece. At least on this side. Yeah, on this left side. On this side, they're individual, but there's one tooth that looks like it's sculpted to another on that. The color is kind of a purple color, off purple, as opposed to the traditional reds and pinks that you'll see in some of the other figures. And what's really hard to see, because I don't have a light that's right on it, is the eyes. I do believe that the eyes... There was some controversy with the eyes. Oh yeah. They are tiny. But wow, they're really detailed. I'll get in there with a better shot. They are really... I don't even know how they managed to do that. Like, how do you paint something that small? But it's really well done. It's not sloppy at all. It's very sharp. Very sharp. Very wow. Hats off to however they did that. It's like they shrunk their painter down like Ant-Man, and he went in there and painted the eye. That is spectacular. However they did that.
That's probably it. Quantum technology. You figured it out.
Spiral Studios cracked quantum technology, and how they're going to share that with the Earth is by shrinking down their painters to get the details of the eyes to Godzilla 2019.
That tracks.
Yes, that's much better than shrinking down spies to go to other companies and look at how they do things. Which, if you do that, Spiral, more power to you. If you can shrink down things, though, you can shrink down the piece and send it to us, and the shipping would be way less. So let's do it that way. The dorsals, the spikes are solid. There's no shake. They're sharp. They're not wiggly. It's a well put together statue. It feels solid. It's not a solid piece, but the material feels hardy. Like it's not gonna. I don't feel like in the hot months it's gonna droop. It's gonna fall apart. X Plus is a more hollow, squishy vinyl. This is a little on the more solid side. I would say more akin to the Prime 1 vinyl piece in terms of its sturdiness. The paint, they've done a good job at making the paint look like a dry like a crocodile that's been out of the water. The creases has like silt and dirt built into them. Kind of looks dirty. The osteoderms, they stand out. Nicely done. It's a good paint job. So let's do a little comparison to some of Spiral's other releases recently. Here we have the Mothra larva from the same film, obviously not to scale. Mothra in true scale to Godzilla would probably be closer to the size of this phone, but for this piece, she's been blown up. So you can see they're roughly the same height. All right, and then we have Spiral Studios Legacy Series GMK Godzilla from Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, All Out Attack. You can see he's quite a bit taller and more massive than this figure. But also, we're also dealing with the fact that this is a reproduction of a film from 2001, and it was a man in a suit. And this never was a man in a suit. This is a pure digital creation. So there's probably a lot that can be said for the differences and how the detail translates. Two different sculptors at work here. We have Tanaka, Vlad, working with this. Alright, comparison to the Spiral King Ghidorah, which I believe they're in scale to the film. Looks about right to me. That's about the size of the size difference.